Welcome to Just Asia, AHRC TV's weekly human rights program. These are the headlines. Intercaste marriage in Nepal ends in murder. Chinese activist remains missing despite police claims of freedom. Indonesian police seal off Papuan dormitory before peaceful protest. Dalit gang rape survivor attacked again. Free speech restricted in Thailand. International community must speak out against disappearances in Pakistan. Urgent appeals from India, Pakistan, and Indonesia. Welcome to AHRC TV's Just Asia. I am Julia Roblando. Beginning in Nepal this week, 18 years old Ajit Mijar has been found murdered in the country's Dhading district. Ajit was a Dalit resident of Panchakal Kavra district who married his non-Dalit girlfriend Kalpana Parajuli on July 9th. Kalpana was forcibly taken away by her relatives on July 11th, 2 days after the marriage, and the family allegedly threatened to kill Ajit within 72 hours. Ajit was found hanging near Phurke Khola Kumpur Village Development Committee in Dhading district on 14th July 2016. In a dramatic chain of events, the police in Dhading district buried him in the presence of the locals. Ajit's family, however, dug up his body and brought it to Kathmandu for a post-mortem. They have demanded an immediate probe into his incident, as there are grave chances of murder by Kalpana's relatives, as well as police involvement to stage it as suicide. To learn more, Just Asia spoke to a relative of Ajit, as well as to member secretary of the National Dalit Commission, Sitaram Ghale.
अनि बाउ चाहिँ आएर भन्नु बाउ चाहिँ आएर नि त्यहाँबाट तँलाई यसैसित जान पर्ने भनेर बाउ चाहिँ भन्नु अनि हुँदै हुँदै लाँदा अनि त्यहाँबाट त्यो उसले चाहिँ दिदीले चाहिँ तँलाई म चौकी मुनि नै बसेर भनिछु तँलाई 7 लाख लाएर भयो नि खर्च गरेर भयो नि तँलाई तिमीहरू दुईजनाले यो माटामाथि हिँड्नै दिन्न भनी नछुटाउँछ गुन्ड लाउँछु भने यहाँ घरमा पनि फोनमा धम्की लुकाउन लगाएको ठाउँमा नि उनीहरूलाई धम्कीको धम्की अनि त्यहाँबाट केटाकेटी अनि लिएर आसिने अनि धम्कीका धम्की यहाँबाट चौकी लाइनमा नि धम्की अनि त्यो धमाख देखाएर नि अनि त्यहाँबाट अब फेरि कुटपिट पनि होला भनेर नि चौकीमा नि लग्यो आफूले पनि नत्र पनि जबरजस्ती यहीँ राख्नुहुन्थ्यो होइन अब त्यो थाहा भएन त्यो आफू परे मान्छे नै होइन आसँग यस्तो भएको थिएन
जब यी भाइलाई बिहा गरेर घरमा भित्राइसकेपछि फेरि चाहिँ उमेर नपुग्या मतलब चाहिँ माइती पक्षले प्रहरीमा उहिले हालिसकेपछि ती माइती मतलब प्रहरीले चाहिँ उमेर नपुगेका कारणले तिमीहरू अब आफ्नै घरमा जा भनेर छुट्याइदिइसकेपछि फेरि ती उसलाई चाहिँ केटीले बारम्बार चाहिँ म तिमीसँगै आउँछु भन्ने खालको चाहिँ फोन गरेको त्यसको आधारमा चाहिँ उनको चाहिँ माइती पक्षले चाहिँ केटालाई चाहिँ एकदम रेकी गर्ने घर रेकी गर्नु गरेको त्यसपछि चाहिँ बाबुआमा कोही नभएको बेला त्यो केटो हराएको छ अनि हराइसकेपछि 29 गते हराएको छ 30 गते उहाँ लास्ट फेला परेको छ त्यस कारण चाहिँ यो सुनियोजित ढङ्गले चाहिँ मारिएको हो भन्ने चाहिँ सर्वसाधारण जनताले नि बुझेका छन् र हामीले पनि त्यही बुझेका छौँ त्यसकारण यो घटना सत्य तथ्य पत्ताउन लगाउनको लागि छिट्टै मन्त्री परिषदको चाहिँ बैठकबाट एउटा उच्च स्तरीय छानबिन आयोग गठन हुन्छ होला भन्ने चाहिँ हामीले महसुस गरेका छौँ त्यसकारण चाहिँ यो घटनाबाट त्यो दोषीहरू नहुन् भन्ने नै हाम्रो चाहिँ चाहना हो र पीडितले अब उचित क्षतिपूर्ति पाउने आफ्नो ठाउँमा छ तर चाहिँ यो जो दोषीहरू छन् ती दोषीहरू चाहिँ कानुनी कठारमा उभ्याउनुपर्छ भन्ने हाम्रो माग हो
Next, young Chinese activist Zhao Wei remains missing despite police claims that she had been freed from detention. Zhao was taken into secret detention in July 2015 during a government offensive against human rights lawyers due to her work for prominent lawyer Li Haiping, who remains in custody. According to the police, Zhao had been freed on July 7th after her confession to unnamed offenses. Speaking to Hong Kong's South China Morning Post, Zhao claimed she had returned to her family home in Henan province and was staying with her parents. Her husband, Yo Minglei, found her family home deserted, however, while neighbors claimed no one had been home for quite some time. While the Hong Kong newspaper quoted Zhao as saying that she regretted her civil rights work, Her husband is of the opinion that somebody asked her to say those things. I believe that Zhao Wei does not have a mobile phone or a computer with her, and she would not have the contact number for the South China Morning Post, he said. Moving to Indonesia. Police officers have surrounded and forcibly closed the Papuan students' dormitory in Kamasan I, Jalan Kusuma Negara, Yogyakarta Province since July 15, with some 100 students trapped inside. The police did not allow any access to the dormitory, not even letting food to be sent inside. Prior to being surrounded by the police and an angry mob, the Papuan students in Yogyakarta Province, like many other Papuan students in other cities of Indonesia, planned to hold a peaceful public protest to support the United Liberation Movement for West Papua, becoming a full member of the Melanesian Spearhead Group. Instead, the students were confronted by members of a few mass organizations shouting racist slogans such as monkeys and separatists must leave Yogyakarta province. They have also assaulted the students while the police looked on indifferently. Some students were arrested by the police. The police behavior in violation of the Indonesian Constitution guaranteeing the right to freedom of expression and peaceful assembly should be immediately investigated. President Joko Widodo should make good on his election promises of prioritizing the Papuan human rights situation and seriously consider a policy that can benefit all parties.
Saya pikir kalau peristiwa di Jogja kemarin itu bentuk dari salah satu bentuk kebebasan berekspresi yang dikengkang oleh pemerintah Indonesia terhadap rakyat Papua, yang mana kemarin karena yang ada di Jogja itu semua hampir semua mahasiswa, dan saya pikir pemerintah harus mulai terbuka terhadap rakyat Papua, dan paling tidak peristiwa kemarin karena sudah mengalami sebuah insiden yang begitu, di mana dalam satu hari, jadi 1 hari 2 hari itu ditutup, dan di mana teman-teman Papua di sana tidak bisa mendapatkan akses makan segala macam, dan karena saya pikir sebuah kejahatan kemanusiaan dibatasi oleh ada kelompok aparat, ada juga kelompok organisasi massa, dan saya pikir pemerintah mesti melakukan investigasi menyeluruh, yang mana jika di dalam kita ditemukan bersalah, jadi saya pikir karena kejadian dalam asrama, tidak di luar dan tidak di tempat publik, saya pikir pemerintah mesti mengambil langkah tegas, yaitu menjatuhkan hukuman kepada pihak-pihak yang bersalah, karena teman-teman mahasiswa ini tidak di luar, tidak di jalan besar, tapi di dalam asrama itu tempat tinggal mereka. Polisi dan ormas yang justru menutup tempat di asrama di Jogja sana. Saya pikir memang pemerintah punya sikap yang tegas terhadap kebebasan berekspresi.
Next, a Dalit gang rape survivor in India has allegedly been gang raped again by the same 5 men accused of raping her earlier. The assault took place in Rohtak, Haryana, 66 kilometers from Delhi, the national capital where the family was forced to move after the first attack, due to threats and ostracization. The young woman was reportedly waylaid by the accused when she stepped out of her college, raped, and left to die in the bushes. The survivor was rushed to the Postgraduate Institute of Medical Sciences in Rohtak, where she is currently recuperating. The mother of the gang rape survivor has claimed that the motive of the assault was to force the family into withdrawing the case they had filed after her daughter was first gang raped in October 2013 in Bhiwani. 2 of the accused, arrested and jailed, were granted bail last month. This case shows how dangerous and horrific it is for women to complain about sexual assault in the absence of a witness protection mechanism, especially from poor and vulnerable communities. In Thailand, following the National Council for Peace and Order's announcement of a constitutional referendum on August 7th, both pro- and anti-draft constitution groups have been focused on conveying their messages to the public. The NCPO, however, has gone to great lengths during the past 2 months to prevent organizations from expressing opposition towards a controversial draft constitution. The Thai people are no strangers to the National Council for Peace and Order's acts of suppression. In 2014, Individuals taking an anti-coup stance evoked a similar response from the NCPO. Using Order No. 3/2015, the Council has restricted anti-draft groups from expressing their views. This order's original intent was to prosecute actions intended to undermine or destroy peace and national security. However, the order is presently being used to prevent the New Democracy movement from running campaigns and the United Front for Democracy Against Dictatorship from publishing anti-electoral fraud in the referendum center. According to Thai Lawyers for Human Rights, individuals in Thailand continue to struggle with rights to freedom of expression. As of July 2015, 113 people have been prosecuted for publicly opposing the draft constitution, many of them from the nation's capital, Bangkok. As opening day of the Centers to Combat Referendum Fraud neared, NCPO suppression escalated. Student groups and activists who demonstrated public opposition to the referendum were also arrested. In one incident, after distributing leaflets to the general public, 13 individuals were brought to Bang Sao Thong police station, where they were taken into custody and charged with violating NCPO orders. On June 21st, the Asian Legal Resource Center held a side event at the UN Human Rights Council building in Geneva on enforced disappearances and extrajudicial killings in Pakistan. The speakers at the event were experts and prominent activists working on the issue of enforced disappearances. The speakers agreed that enforced disappearances are the direct outcome of the degenerated and collapsing criminal justice system. The delegation of WGEID, led by Ms. Gabriela Guzman, expressed her concern regarding the continuous phenomenon of enforced disappearances by the law enforcement agency, particularly in Balochistan and Sindh provinces, and unbridled powers to law enforcement agency, including military. The promulgation of the draconian laws, such as Protection of Pakistan Act, merely worsens the situations. Pakistan's ambassador in China boasted in June that 3,400 people have been killed in military operation in Balochistan to protect the China-Pakistan economic corridor. What sort of state kills thousands of people just to ensure foreign investment? And what sort of humanitarian values is the world defending if it cannot speak out against this genocide of the Baloch people in their own homeland? After Bosnia and Croatia, Pakistan has the highest numbers in disappearances and extrajudicial killings. While mass graves of disappeared persons are found, nothing is done as impunity is given to the law enforcement agencies. The people of Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan have been forced to remain in Pakistan, but they do not enjoy constitutional rights, and nor are they treated as citizens of Pakistan. The speakers urged the international community to recognize the humanitarian crisis in Balochistan, Sindh, and Kashmir, KPK province and Gilgit and Baltistan, and to raise the issues of enforced disappearances and extrajudicial killings at the highest level. Finally, the Urgent Appeals Weekly features 3 cases from India, Pakistan, and Indonesia. In West Bengal, India, a 12-year-old schoolgirl committed suicide after being molested by a border security force guard. Although her father filed a complaint at the police station, the police took no action. In Pakistan's Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, police illegally arrested and detained 7 transgender persons and forced them to dance. During the dance, the police verbally and sexually abused them and beat up those who resisted. In Indonesia, no police officers have been indicted for the custodial torture and death of Marianus Oki, while the investigation into his death is ongoing. The police so far have only cited disciplinary violations, suggesting the matter be resolved in the internal police ethic court. That is all for this episode of Just Asia. For more on these and other issues, please visit www.humanrights.asia or www.alrc.asia/justasia. Thank you for watching and see you next week.